Happy Bulletproof Monday, everyone. I hope you are doing amazing. I have a question for you. How would you like to, regardless of the business you're in, bring in more happy customers and retain them? I think we all would. My name is Susan Sly. I am a marketing specialist, tech investor, mom, marathon runner. I make some mean chocolate chip cookies too. I'll add that one to the mix. And I come on Mondays to serve all of you, the small business owner, the solopreneur, the person who's thinking about becoming a business owner, and really help you with some tips of things you can apply right away into your life and into your business. So with that, I want to welcome you to Bulletproof Monday. If you're here live, shouts out to you, and shouts out to my friend Bruce. He even moved his surgery so he could be here on a Bulletproof Monday one day. If you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on iTunes, shouts out and love to you. If you're listening on iTunes and these are really helpful to you, I'd love a 5-star review. Hey, you don't ask, you don't get. And if you're new to Bulletproof Monday, I want to welcome you. You know, I really feel that business can be tough at times, and when you're juggling business and life, it can be messy. And you know, and at the end of the day, I think we all want the same thing. It's just to make a better life for ourselves, for the people we care about, and just to be good people in the world. So with that, today we're going to talk about how do we bring in more happy customers and help our current customers become happier. And I'm actually going to be talking about the science of hormones and how the top marketers in the world actually use hormonal triggers in their advertising, in their videos, in their email copy, so that you elicit the emotions that they want you to have. And the same techniques that these multi-million dollar agencies use, you can use them too. And that's what we're going to do. So if you have a pen and paper, I would love for you to take notes. If you want the notes, you can go ahead to susansly.com. You can subscribe to my weekly email and I will email you out the notes. I will tell you, I've been at 3 back-to-back digital marketing conferences. 2 of them I was speaking at, and I am behind in sending out notes, but I promise you this week I will get out the notes. So I want to talk about these hormones, and they are, the acronym for them is DOSE, D-O-S-E. And I'm going to share with you what the hormones do and how we can use them in our marketing to elicit the response. And we call these, the blanket statement for these are happy hormones. And so I'm going to get into that. And just a couple quick announcements. So one, you know, I think that the best way to learn anything is through immersion. Would you all agree? You know, if we were going to learn Mandarin, the best thing to do would be to physically go to China and, you know, live there for a month and really learn the language and study it and immerse ourselves in it. When I was a little girl, I was sent away to rural Quebec in Canada to learn French. And I'll tell you, the family didn't speak any English whatsoever. And I came back very fluent in French. And so it's the same thing for you as a marketer. And I am hosting a 4-day immersion event here in beautiful sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, April 25th to 28th. And so in that event, you're going to learn marketing techniques, how to build things like sales pages, funnels, how to write amazing email copy. But you're not just going to learn it. You're going to learn a skill, then you're going to apply it in a very loving, supervised environment, and then you'll go on and learn the next skill. So after 4 days, you will have a complete online business. And so you can check it out on only4days.com. Tickets are going fast. We only have 2 VIP tickets left. And the VIP tickets, you actually get a photo session with my photographer, Tony Taft. He's absolutely amazing. You get a video package with Stephen Hayes. It's incredible. And you get to come hang out with me and celebrity chef Bo McMillan at the award-winning Sanctuary Resort at, it's something called the Nirvana Food and Wine Festival. So get to hang out with Chef Bo. He hangs out with people like Guy Fieri, Iron Chef guys, girls, all of them. So check it out, only4days.com. All right, so let's get into it. The first hormone we're going to talk about is dopamine. I actually made notes for you because I like to read from the notes on Mondays. And dopamine is a hormone that motivates you to take action. So when we're selling something, do we not want to motivate someone to take action? Just nod your head, say yes. Of course, you want to motivate people to take action. And one of the things is that, to trigger dopamine, you have to be able to clearly outline the path to success for that prospective client. So let's say, as an example, you have a diet system and you're like, oh, it's so great and it's going to be amazing. That's not really going to trigger dopamine because there's no clear path to success. To trigger your dopamine, it's like having a mental checklist. First I do this, then I do this, then I do this. So when you're selling something to someone, being able to say, okay, here's how, let's say it's a diet, here's how this diet works. And I'm just going to make this diet up, just pretend, go along with me. So, on days 1 through 5, the first thing you're going to do is you are going to eliminate sugar. Now, you may be thinking, this is an NLP technique, you may be thinking eliminating sugar sounds really hard, but here's what I can tell you, that when you eliminate sugar, the first couple of days can be rough, but then you actually stop craving sugar. You begin to lose weight. Your energy begins to come up. You start to sleep better. So now you're giving them a positive desired outcome and a clear path, right? Does this make sense? Hopefully it does. Say yes in the chat. I read all of your comments. When people's dopamine levels are low, they tend to be depressed. They tend to be apathetic, and they also tend to procrastinate a lot. And so yesterday I was running with my son, and shouts out to my son, AJ. I know my dad watches Bulletproof Monday. Hey, Daddy. So my son just did his first half marathon at age 16. He's actually training for his next one. And so we're running 10 miles, and he says to me, Mommy, what are you excited about this week? And as he asked that question, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm excited to go to yoga. I'm excited about what I'm teaching on Bulletproof Monday. I'm excited about this. As I started to talk about all the things I was excited about, it started to trigger my dopamine. So as professional marketers, it's our responsibility to trigger a dopamine response with any of our prospective clients and also with our existing clients. It's very important, if you're taking notes, write this down, that you're giving everyone a clear path to success. If you say something like, oh, just take this pill, you're going to lose weight, yes, that's a clear path to success. The more complicated you make something, the less dopamine is triggered, and it can actually be a dopamine suppressor, and then people will not want to do business with you. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So that's one thing. Dopamine is that hormone of anticipation and that hormone of being able to achieve and accomplish and all of those good things. The next hormone is oxytocin. Now, women, when we give birth, we secrete oxytocin, lots of it, but you can't give birth every day, and your clients can't give birth every day. It's not humanly possible, thank God. But how can we create that kind of hormone? Now, oxytocin is associated with loyalty. And I want you to write this word down, loyalty. Don't you want loyal customers? Don't you want customers and clients who are going to stay with you for years? Of course you do. Now, the other way to secrete dopamine is intimacy. I don't want Facebook to block this video, so I won't say intimacy, that word, okay? You guys can fill in the blanks. Things like hugs, or a mother hugging a child, or a dad hugging a child, that will also create dopamine, or even snuggling with your puppy oxytocin can create some more oxytocin for you. So how do we do it with our potential clients? So one of the things that we want to do is trigger this hormone of intimacy. And how do we do it? We do it by simply helping that person feel secure. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what people want in their transactions with us is they want certainty. So for those of you who come to Bulletproof Monday every Monday, you're certain, and I pray to God you do, you're going to take away one actionable thing you can use in marketing, right? That's at least one thing. If you can create certainty, that is going to help to create some oxytocin for that person. They're going to feel more loyal to you. They're going to feel secure and safe. Those are all keynotes of oxytocin. So my question for you is, in your marketing, how can you do that? If you think about some famous famous commercials, that are out there. I was teaching a group of entrepreneurs today, and I was using the example of the Bud Light commercial with the puppy and the Clydesdale, and the little puppy always wants to go see the Clydesdale, and it's like your heart just, it's like oxytocin all over the place. And that was the most watched commercial in Super Bowl 2014. And in fact, 80% of the views, it had 50 million views. 80% of those were views that Bud didn't have to pay for, because the commercial already went viral beyond that. So it's just incredible that something that secretes that much oxytocin, right? Or think of some of the movies that, some of your favorite feel-good movies, those are all oxytocin, or if you have a favorite feel-good show. So looking at what it is you market and how can you create some of those feelings, those nurturing kind of feelings, those connective kind of feelings. That's why the fastest growing companies in the world, they're companies that are really creating this connectivity. And I'll use Zappos as an example. So they have award-winning customer service. And so one of the things that you can call up one of their customer care people and just have a conversation with them. So they actually use real people, not robots. And there are AI robots that just do customer care, but they're real people, with real lives that want to help you with your real problem and create a real solution. And that's how they're secreting oxytocin and loyal Zappos customers, right? All right, the next one is serotonin. We're on the S. Serotonin is my favorite happy neurochemical because it's actually 80% of serotonin is created in your gut. Now, there are a lot of people right now who have very low serotonin, and when serotonin is low, you're depressed, you have anxiety. In the worst case, it's suicidal thoughts, and even suicide. It's really sad. So with your gut health, I'll talk about the marketing, but this is just, I used to work in nutrition for 15 years. I was a nutritionist, a professor of nutrition. So I can't help but bringing some of that into Bulletproof Mondays, that for your own self, if you're feeling a little blue, if you're feeling, not as happy as you should be, it could be that your gut health is out of alignment, and things like stress, antibiotics, all sorts of alcohol, all sorts of things, they wreak havoc with your gut biome. And so taking a good probiotic, apple cider vinegar, I take it every morning. It's like, oh, but it's really good for you. Those kinds of things can definitely help. So when your gut health is good, your mood tends to be good. Now, creating serotonin in an environment for a potential client or customer isn't about giving them a probiotic, unless that's your business. But what it comes down to is significance and importance. I'm just circling it with my pen now. So making your prospect or your existing client feel significant and important. So here's a few ways to do it. Number one, acknowledge them. Hey, Ro, I just want to acknowledge you, for even taking a look at this. I know change can be scary. You're an amazing woman. Make her feel significant. Rosa, same thing. Like, Rosa, you're an incredible woman. I know you're juggling a lot of balls, and the fact that you're sitting down with me and taking a look at switching your mortgage. I don't know. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm just making this up. That speaks volumes of your character. Your job in business is to make people feel good, to make people feel better for interacting with you than they did before. And so making your potential clients, your prospects, your team members feel significant and valued, that's going to increase their serotonin. And when people have an increased serotonin response in doing business with you, guess what? They're going to be more likely to bring you referrals. They're going to feel good about themselves, and you're going to have a lot less churn in your business, because if you're making people feel significant, it's a game changer. And it's interesting because I will say this. There was a company I was consulting to, and I said, listen, you just made the biggest mistake. You got rid of your culture. You got rid of your recognition. You're going to have a lot of problems. Their competition saw this, and they doubled down. They doubled down on their recognition. They doubled down on valuing people. And as a result, are surpassing the other company with new client acquisition at such a rapid rate. And one of the first things, if a company asked me to come in and consult to them, them, the first thing I take a look at is what do they do to value their customers, and what are those KPIs that they have, the key performance indicators. So that's how you raise serotonin. Hopefully this is some good stuff. I have one more hormone to go. The last one is endorphins. So we secrete endorphins in response to pain or stress. And endorphins help us to alleviate anxiety. Write this down. Your potential clients and customers are in pain. They are in pain. There's no question. They're in some kind of pain. They're in pain because they don't feel healthy. They're in pain because they don't have enough money. They're in pain because they for whatever it is. And the reality is that when you can help create an endorphin response to what you're doing, that's when you're more likely to get new business, new clients and customers coming in. So one of the easiest ways to alleviate pain is through laughter. Some of the most effective advertising campaigns out there, if you look at the Harmon brothers, they did the squatty potty stuff. A lot of their ads have a ton of humor baked into it. If I said, I see Kim and Bruce and Renee and so many of you who come every single week. If I said, think of your favorite comedy, it's not going to be hard to remember. And the reality is a lot of people start laughing just thinking of some of their favorite comedy shows or Saturday Night Live skits or whatever it is, right? Because laughter is an amazing way to secrete the endorphins. Endorphins are also known as runner's high. So where we can help our clients or potential clients and customers to secrete endorphins is alleviating their stress. Now, an NLP technique is called the elephant in the room. So one of the things you can do, and this is some very high level marketing, but you can bring it into your Facebook Lives, you can bring it into your video marketing, the videos that you're putting on your landing pages. You can say something like, oh my gosh, you may be thinking, I've tried every diet, or you may be thinking, I have tried everything to make more money. Address their pain, because the moment you address their pain, what they're thinking, the elephant in the room, you alleviate the pain, because they're like, oh my gosh, Hadass gets me. Oh my gosh, Linda gets me. Oh my gosh, Bruce gets me. And the faster you do that, the faster you alleviate the pain and you create more endorphins. So hopefully today has been helpful to you. If you're listening, if you're on YouTube or if you're on iTunes, I do these live on Mondays, every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific. And I want to acknowledge all of you who come all the time. I love you guys. I read all of your comments. If this has been great, please do share it. If you have an idea, go to susansly.com. We have an amazing chat bot on our site. You can go, this is my idea. And I will entertain any idea. Please, by all means, I would love to hear your ideas. And with that, again, the last thing I'll say is, hey, if you want to come work with me, and it's not going to be easy, but I will alleviate your pain of confusion. If you want to come work with me for 4 days in April, it's only $997. That price is going up March 21st to $1,497. 4 days total immersion learning. Come work with me. It is that rare opportunity. This is my new signature event, only 4 days. If you have any business to market, you're going to absolutely love it. So with that, go rock it. You're amazing. You're a champion. You're a winner. That's what I tell my kids every night. And I will see you next Monday. Goodbye, everyone.